Sultan Mahmud and the two beggars. God will fix it. Who is Sultan Mahmud? Sometimes, in life, you reach a point where no one can help you. Everyone you thought could make a difference becomes powerless, and you feel like a grain of wheat caught in the wind, helpless, with no support, no hope in anyone. You find yourself in a situation where all you can do is quietly lift your head and desperately say to the sky, God, you fix it. This feeling is indescribable. And it takes a lot to reach this point in a specific matter. Years ago, two beggars used to sit at the entrance of Sultan Mahmud's palace. One of them was very flattering. Whenever Sultan Mahmud or any of the nobles would pass by, the flattering beggar would start praising and complimenting them, and in return, he would receive a coin. The other beggar, however, sat quietly and said nothing. When the flattering beggar asked him, "Why don't you say anything? Hasn't God given you a tongue? Say something so you can get a coin." The quiet beggar would reply, "God will fix it. Who is Sultan Mahmud?" One day, news reached Sultan Mahmud inside the palace. "Sultan, have you seen those two beggars sitting at the entrance of the palace, begging?" The Sultan replied, "Yes, I've seen them. One is very flattering, and the other is very quiet and says nothing." They told the Sultan, "Actually, the quiet beggar keeps repeating every time you help the other one, 'God will fix it.' Who is Sultan Mahmud?" Sultan Mahmud became angry and said, "Now I'll show him who Sultan Mahmud is." He ordered a chicken to be quickly roasted and a valuable emerald from the palace to be placed inside it, then given to the flattering beggar so the other one would learn who Sultan Mahmud is. The chicken was prepared and brought to the flattering beggar. Coincidentally, before the chicken was brought, one of the ministers had already given the flattering beggar a piece of roasted turkey. He had eaten it and was full, sitting carelessly. When they brought him the chicken, he turned to the other beggar and said, "How much have you begged since this morning?" The quiet beggar replied, "3 coins." The flattering beggar said, "Give me your 3 coins, and I'll give you this chicken." The quiet beggar said, "No, I don't want it. You're full, you can't eat the chicken, and you can't keep it until tomorrow, so you'll have to give it to someone. If you want, give it to me." The flattering beggar said, "Fine, give me 1 coin, and I'll give you the chicken." Again, he received a negative response. Finally, the flattering beggar said, "All right, you don't have to give me any coins. Here, take the chicken and eat it." When the poor man put the first piece of chicken in his mouth, he saw the emerald. He quickly hid the emerald in his pocket and, out of joy, stood up and said to the flattering beggar, "My friend, I'm leaving. Maybe we won't see each other after tomorrow, but remember, God will fix it. Who is Sultan Mahmud?" The next morning, Sultan Mahmud came and saw the beggar still sitting at the entrance. He shouted at him, "Why are you still here? Wasn't the gift enough for a lifetime of comfort?" The beggar replied, "What gift?" Sultan Mahmud said, "The emerald inside the chicken." The flattering beggar replied, "I was full, so I gave the chicken to the poor man who sits here." Sultan Mahmud became furious and shouted, "Take this man inside the palace and whip him 100 times a day until he repeats 100 times a day, 'God will fix it.' Who is Sultan Mahmud?"